kidnapping and extortion in the Eastern Cape is rampantly increasing. In the latest incidents, people living with disabilities are the largest targets for extortionists. Blind and deaf people are being forced to pay for protection against robberies, while business owners are concerned over the alarming increase in crime. Meanwhile, missing children. South Africa has also noted an increase in missing children. But let's bring in now from Missing Children South Africa. We'll bring in the extortion arm of the conversation in a moment. For now, we are joined by Bianca van Aswegen, who is with Missing Children South Africa. Bianca, good morning to you. Really concerning numbers coming out of these crimes in the country. And I know that what you've done with Missing Children South Africa is also look at the number of kidnappings in the country annually, a startling number. Share that with us, Bianca. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you so much. Yes, kidnappings have generally escalated tremendously in our country, and that also of children going missing. There's approximately 16,000 kidnappings that have been reported in the last year in South Africa. But stats only gives us a general indication of the problem we're facing, because a lot of cases actually go unreported, especially when it comes to kidnappings. The families are scared, they're being threatened. So those kidnappings aren't even being reported, and that makes it even worse if we think of those amounts adding to the amount that we are currently seeing with these kidnappings. It is a tremendous problem that we are facing.
And of that number, 16,000, how much of that is children?
Approximately, we don't have a specific figures of how many are children, but children and women are very much vulnerable to being kidnapped.
Yeah, I understand your recent stats in fact, it's a Stats SA report saying 85% of victims are women and children. That's a very large number. And let's talk about just how much of an understanding there is around ransom that is requested with the number of kidnappings that we do have. So 16,000 in the past year. How much of that do we know, for instance, has been with the demands for ransom?
Well, ransom demand kidnappings is one of the kidnappings that are escalating and that we're seeing in the forefront currently, because it's money orientated. It's a low risk, high reward type of crime that we are seeing happening. And anybody, even women, children, or men, are vulnerable to fall victim to ransom demand kidnappings in our country. It's something that's really escalated. It is a problem. It's escalating even more currently. We're seeing business owners being taken for ransom demand kidnappings, or just random being taken off the street for money-orientated kidnappings.
Yeah, very, very concerning. And one of the things that I know is, of course, we're still struggling with finding people, particularly children that have gone missing. I mean, many still wondering what happened to Jocelyn Smith. We see her mother in court with her co-accused, but still no answers as to where Jocelyn Smith is. So perhaps if you have an update on the matter of Jocelyn Smith and also our recovery rate, Bianca.
Yes, unfortunately, there are so many cases like Jocelyn Smith. We've even got cases dating back to the 1980s of children that are currently still missing. And these cases should never be forgotten. They should be brought into the forefront. They should be looked at again, reinvestigated. Those children should never be forgotten. Unfortunately, Jocelyn's case is still under investigation. She's still not found. So we do urge anyone with any information to please contact your nearest police station or contact us at Missing Children South Africa.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about whether or not people do respond to the calls to assist, and at what point people get search fatigue. I mean, I remember even when, again, we're showing images of Jocelyn Smith now on the screen, there was, the community that had come out in their numbers to try and help to look for Jocelyn. When does the fatigue set in, and what does that do for the likelihood of finding these children again?
With Jocelyn's case, we've seen quite a big search being implemented with her case, where we've never seen that with any other child that has gone missing. So it was quite a unique case in the sense of that it got so much media attention, it got social media attention, it got the attention of political parties even, that we've never seen before. But yes, unfortunately, we've seen it in many other cases. It hits the media, and about 3-4 months down the line, that child's forgotten again. So that's why we as Missing Children South Africa never give up. We make sure those faces of those children are out there on social media, that they get the attention that they need.
Yeah. Do you think that there's a concern around the link between, say, missing individuals and extortion rings? I mean, we certainly are seeing in the Eastern Cape a rise in, apologies for that, a rise in the extortion of business people and now the blind and the deaf, and certainly, you know, how these syndicates operate, perhaps their modus operandi, Bianca?
Yes, there can definitely be a link, especially with our ransom demand kidnappings or a person just being taken and extorted for these types of reasons. So there's definitely a link. I mean, missing persons has a link to so much different types of crimes that we've seen. It's kidnappings, it's extortion, it is human trafficking that is happening. I mean, today is World Day against trafficking in persons. So there's so many links when it comes to a missing person, so we can't rule that out.
Yeah. Do you believe that law enforcement really has the capacity to deal with missing persons in the country? I mean, that's always going to be a big one, right? That it is a very reactive way to respond to a crime, but there's no way to foresee it. And after the fact, do we have the resources to deal with it?
I think we do. We do have systems that are in place, but to be honest, there is always more that can be done. I mean, more training needs to be implemented, especially with the escalation in cases that we've seen, especially with the escalation in kidnapping cases that we've seen. Proper training needs to be implemented into our law enforcement. We need to expand our searches. We need to implement, we'll get more teams together, specialized teams that deals exactly just with missing persons, especially when it comes to our children.
Yeah. And just quickly, as a parent, it is, of course, you know, every parent's worst nightmare to, you know, not be able to know where your child is, and then you find yourself in that position. What's the first thing that you do?
Yes, it's very traumatic when a child goes missing. It is very traumatizing on the family. But we do please ask that there's absolutely no waiting period when it comes to reporting a person or a child as missing. Please report it to your nearest police station immediately and contact us at Missing Children South Africa so action can be taken. The first 24 hours to 48 hours is absolutely crucial when a child goes missing. That child could be anywhere in the world by then, should there be a period of waiting before opening that case. So please report it immediately so action can be taken.
Yeah, we were also hoping to speak to Voisile Ntlabati, the president of the Eastern Cape Chamber of Business, to talk to us about the rise in not just kidnapping but also extortion in the Eastern Cape that is seeing an increase, of course, suspects and perpetrators there targeting not just business owners, but it's also being spread now to vulnerable groups like the blind and the deaf. But we will be following up on that story. Bianca van Aswegen, thank you so much for giving us your time.